Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LinkedIn's headquarters in Mountain View, California. My name is Leela Srinivasan, and I lead part of the global marketing team for LinkedIn Talent Solutions. And we're really excited that there are about 200 of you going to be in the room today for College Recruiting Bootcamp. And also a shout out to those of you tuning in online there at the back. We're glad that you're with us for the live stream all day, and we'll be using the hashtag CRBootcamp, so please tweet early and often and help the outside world understand some of the great things that you're learning at today's event. So when Stephen Rothberg from collegerecruiter.com approached us at the beginning of the year to ask if we'd be interested in hosting this, we jumped at the chance. And there are really two reasons that we are so excited about college talent. First of all, there's the importance of college talent on LinkedIn, and then secondly, college talent at LinkedIn. So the on LinkedIn part, as you may have heard recently, our global membership now is over 225 million members. We're adding 2 members per second. And the fastest growing demographic for us on LinkedIn is college students and new graduates. We currently have over 30 million college students and new graduates on LinkedIn. And for us, it's not just about getting them on LinkedIn, it's helping them understand how to navigate their careers, how to network, because they don't have pre-built networks of former colleagues and folks that they necessarily feel comfortable reaching out to. And so I think Omar from our consumer marketing team actually is at the back of the room. He and a bunch of my colleagues here at LinkedIn spend their time obsessing over how do we help college-level talent network and think about their careers successfully. So that's the on LinkedIn part. The at LinkedIn part, you're going to hear more from Tay Scott, who runs our campus recruiting efforts globally, as our keynote, I think at 9 o'clock or so. And she'll go much deeper on the importance of college talent and how we've built our campus recruiting program from scratch and some of the things that we've learned along the way. But really, to summarize, talent is our #1 priority here at LinkedIn. Every 2 weeks, Jeff Weiner, our CEO, stands pretty much in this spot right here and leads our all-hands meeting for the company. And he always starts with talent because it's our most important operating priority. And college talent is a huge part of that. So talent, again, student talent on LinkedIn and at LinkedIn, super important to us. Before we get stuck into the content, I'm going to bore you with some of the housekeeping items. So sorry again online if you're listening into this part. Bathrooms, very important, I know. If you leave the room and go down the stairs and take a right and go round the stairs, you'll see the bathrooms right there. There are some refreshments. There's breakfast at the back of the room. Important to stay hydrated and energized for all that tweeting you're going to do. So feel free to go back there and refresh your drink or get something else to eat. We'll replenish those refreshments during the morning. We're also going to head straight from this into a brown bag lunch hosted by my colleague, Rob Humphrey, who's at the back of the room. Rob, that's a great smile, Rob. Rob is our lead evangelist for college solutions, basically for LinkedIn Talent Solutions. And you've got a treat in store if you stick around for that lunch. Rob's going to help you understand how best practices in engaging students on LinkedIn. He's also going to give you somewhat of a North American premiere of our new solution that we announced last week in Australia called Check-In, which is really about helping you collect and manage leads from college recruiting events. So you'll have a chance to demo that firsthand if you stick around for that lunch. All right, so I think that's it from housekeeping items, other than that wireless details are up here, so feel free to log in and, as I said, tweet, especially. Before I hand it over to our College Recruiting Bootcamp friends here, wanted to share some stats on some of the folks in the room. So as you can imagine, LinkedIn, we've got a lot of data. And we have an insights team that helps us think about that data and make sense of it. So I asked them to pull some statistics on some of the folks in the room. Not that recruiters are typically terribly shy, but as a way to sort of break the ice, help you get to know one another just a little bit. So when we looked at the data from the 200 or so registrants we had for this morning, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out to the earliest adopter of LinkedIn in the room. Now, bear in mind, among recruiting circles, this is pretty big props because many of you understood the value proposition of LinkedIn early. But I can say that Leilani, if she's here somewhere, was right at the back there. Yep, so she was the earliest adopter of LinkedIn in the room. Leilani is LinkedIn member number 23,000 and change. So think about it. We got 225 million members. Leilani was within the first 25,000. Pretty extraordinary. Next up, the most connected person in the room. So I actually wasn't surprised at this when I saw the answer, having browsed the list of registrants. But the most connected person in the room is Mr. Marvin Smith of Lockheed Martin, there at the back. So round of applause for Marvin. Marvin has 7,200 connections on LinkedIn. Marvin, what are you doing all day? I mean, how do you meet these people? I'm sure people will be grabbing you at the coffee break to find out more about that. Next up, the most popular. So this is an indication of whose profile has been viewed the most times in the room in the last 30 days. And that shout out goes to Jill Martino. Is she here somewhere? I heard a yelp. So right there, all the folks at the back are clearly the cool kids here. So Jill's profile was looked at something like 860 times, I think it was, in the last 30 days. Do the math, that's a lot of views. So hopefully for the right reasons and not the wrong ones, Jill. And then last but not least, the most endorsed. So before we get into this, raise your hand if you're aware of LinkedIn endorsements. Fantastic, lots of hands. We've had over 1 billion endorsements on the platform so far, so definitely a popular feature of our site. This individual has 819 endorsements, and that is Mark from Juniper Networks. He's here somewhere? There he is. So Mark, thankfully, is most endorsed for talent acquisition, but I think college recruiting makes your top 6, so clearly you're in the right place. Great. So that's a little bit about who's in the room. Now I'm going to hand over to, I think, Faye Rothberg from collegerecruiter.com.
Oh, I don't have any slides, so I'm fine. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Faith Rothberg from collegerecruiter.com. I'm the CEO, and I'd like to welcome you here today and just tell you a little bit why we're here and what the conference is going to be like. I'd like to thank Leela for that great opening. We are so excited to be working with LinkedIn today. The conference today is probably going to be unlike any other college recruiting conference that you've been to, as it's the 20-minute per speaker conference. It'll go really quick, keep it really upbeat, and if there's a topic that you're not interested in, well, you only have to wait about 20 minutes and you'll get a new one. So that should be good. For the past 23 years, College Recruiter has been in business, and we've learned that the biggest problem in the recruiting market, and especially the college recruiting market, is the mismatch between employers and job seekers. And so we have tried to find ways over the years to improve the skills of job seekers and employers in helping to make that match more easily. In organizing this conference, we did it together with LinkedIn, and we thought this was a great way to help educate and learn more about, share more about college recruiting. In my day job, I have the pleasure of working with a bunch of technical folks from LinkedIn. And as Leela was saying about talent, they definitely really care about their own talent. We have been so impressed and had such a pleasure and opportunity to work with these people. They're just amazing. They go above and beyond every time, and it's just been wonderful. And along with that, we have these great people, Leela, that you already saw, and Dale in the back, and Olivia, that have spent tons of time putting on this, getting this conference together, and we're just very grateful that they were able to do that. I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to be here today. I think it's going to be just a great time, a lot of fun, and I'm going to turn it over to Stephen so we can get started. Thanks.
So as somebody said earlier that you just saw the brains of the operation. I'm Stephen Rothberg. I'm the president of collegerecruiter.com. I founded the business in '91. Faith and I got married in '93, do the math. And she became our CEO, which for those of you who know us, you saw a significant improvement in the quality of the work that we did when I kind of got out of a lot of those areas. So today, overview of the agenda, as Faith was saying, most of us who go to conferences are kind of used to the standard 75-minute, maybe 60-minute presentations. When I deliver those sorts of presentations, it's a lot of fun because you actually don't have to prepare that hard to do and to talk for an hour. I think Mark Twain said something to the effect of that: if you want me to talk for an hour, I can be ready in 5 minutes. If you want me to talk for 5 minutes, I need an hour to prepare. So keep in mind when these people are doing these presentations, these 20-minute presentations, that they're used to doing this kind of topic in 60 to 75 minutes. So anybody whose brain needs to explode because you're getting that information compressed, please, again, restrooms, down the stairs, right behind the registration desk. I do have a favor to ask. Anybody who is on Twitter, one way that you can essentially say thank you to the presenters is to send at least one tweet. All we're asking is one tweet per person per presenter. Just send like a nugget, something that you liked. If you don't like the tie they're wearing, tweet that. Use the CR Bootcamp hashtag. That's again for people who are here as well as those who are watching on live streaming. The people who are doing presenting will, I think, get a real charge when they get back to the office or if they're checking TweetDeck or Hootsuite or whatever today to see the feedback that they're getting. The streaming that we have going on right now, people globally are able to basically click a link, go to a LinkedIn page, and watch online. Thanks to LinkedIn, they don't even have to register to do it, so it's not like a way of grabbing a bunch of names or whatever. This is really about spreading spreading the wealth, spreading the information, and helping not just the couple of hundred people who are in the room today do better, but also people across the country and even globally. It'll be interesting to see. I would think that LinkedIn will have some information about like how many people are watching and sort of from what countries and whatever. And it'll be interesting to see later where that is. We will be in the coming days posting each of the presentations to our blog, to collegerecruiter.com/blog. LinkedIn is going to do a little bit of editing. We're going to kind of chop them up into 20-minute pieces. So if when you get back to the office, coming days, coming weeks, you want to share it with colleagues, then definitely just, you'll be able to log in. You're not going to have to register or anything like that, and you can watch the presentations. Probably you won't want to watch this one again. Tonight, at 6 p.m. in downtown San Francisco, for those of you who are here or even connecting via streaming, there's a reception at the offices of Smart Recruiters. If you sign up in advance, which I'm not sure if right now counts, it's $10. There's dinner, drinks, and we're going to be talking about the secrets of college recruiting. I'm going to be on on the panel. If you sign up at the door, it's $20. So get your registration in. So if you want to Google it or whatever, go to Smart Recruiters Smart Up, and I think you'll find it. If you want to look at your calendars, flip to the December page. December 9th, we're going to be doing another one of these boot camps, similar, very, very similar kind of format, similar low cost streaming and the whole deal. December 9th at the offices of Ernst & Young in Times Square in New York. So for those of you who flew out here, thank you very much. For those of you who are in the Bay Area, book your flights and book them soon. Finally, again, the Twitter hashtag, as those of you in the room will see, we're going to have sort of live streaming for tweeting. I'm a twit. Over on the right here, and use that / or hashtag CR Bootcamp. You'll see me live tweeting. I'm going to try to do probably like one per presentation. I'm at Stephen Rothberg, and Faith is going to be live tweeting from at entry-level job. Faith is going to be sending out a live tweet targeted to job seekers. That's what we use that at entry-level job account for. So she's going to try to pick up a nugget from each presenter, something that will be of interest to job seekers. I'm going to try to pick up something that will be of interest to employers, and maybe between the two of us, we'll pick up one or two things that will be of interest.